It takes a special team to win a Champions League title and an even more special team to retain that title the following season. But here are 5 reasons why I think Bayern Munich can do just that. First off, and it's the man they've got in charge in Hansi Flick. Now, after winning the Club World Cup, it now means that Bayern Munich not only won the treble last season, but have won all 6 trophies available to them in the last 12 months. Quite astonishing considering Hansi Flick only took over about 15 months ago. On top of this, he's now won 6 trophies, and at the moment of recording, he's only got 5 losses, which is just absolutely astonishing. The thing with Hansi Flick is that he led Bayern Munich to the Champions League title, and now in the following year, it looks as though he may just have the right kind of system to do it again. There have been a few changes in the Bayern Munich squad, but not really that many in terms of the strongest starting 11 from the Champions League final last season to what it could potentially be this season. I think that core of the group under Hansi Flick is going to be so important. Along with this, Flick definitely has the trust of all of the players. He's proven in such a short amount of time that he can lead them to victory, so why not get behind him again the following season? Of course, this isn't an exact science. I mean, in all honesty, I am going with last season's favourites for this season's title just because they're still that good, but there is a little bit more to it, and that brings me on to reason number 2. And that is, like I just touched on, the fact they've got the perfect mix. Firstly, they've got the experienced squad players who literally have been there and done it before, including last season. The likes of Lewandowski, Alaba, Gnabry, Muller, Neuer, they're all so experienced at this level of football. Since the last Champions League final, they literally have the exact same team except from Thiago leaving. On top of this, they've got Hernandez and Pavard back fit to compete and drive others in the team, as well as adding Sane to their attacking options. Actually, taking that Champions League final from last team, right, let's look at it from what was last year to what could be this year, and you'll still see it's so ridiculously strong. Thiago's gone, right? Take him out, push Kimmich into the midfield, as is normal. Pavard's back at right back. Take your pick of either Davis or Hernandez at left back. I both think they're good. Sule could potentially come in for Boateng alongside David Alaba. That's a pretty good choice. And apart from that, yeah, maybe somehow work Sane into the front 3 of Coman, Gnabry and Lewandowski. But apart from that, the team picks itself. They were brilliant last year, and they've got every chance of going ahead and doing exactly the same this year. Moving on then, and one of those mentioned is probably the main reason why I think Bayern Munich can win the title this year, and it's Robert Lewandowski. Yet again, he's proving himself to have an insane season in front of goal, almost 30 goals for him in this campaign alone, and it's proven, even though there was no Ballon d'Or, there was still a FIFA award, that at the moment, he's the best player on the planet. Whether you agree with him, whether you like him or not, doesn't really matter. He's putting up the stats, he's putting up the figures, and he is banging in the goals. We've seen it so much before, especially that Real Madrid 3-peat winning side, that sometimes when you're having a bad game, it's not quite working, the teamwork's not quite there, things just aren't coming off. Having a goal scorer, like Cristiano Ronaldo, is going to help you extremely because you can find a goal out of nowhere and it can drag you back into the game without necessarily playing that well. The thing is with Bayern is that they've got the best of both. If they're not playing that well, Lewandowski can step up and inevitably find the back of the net. And if for some reason Lewandowski is having a bad day, the rest of the squad are there to pick up the slack. I mean, we saw it with the amount of goals that were scored last season in the Champions League, with the likes of Gnabry getting quite a few, Kimmich as well, and even Kingsley Coman popped up with a winner in the final. The next reason is that Bayern Munich are in fantastic form. In fact, them alongside PSG are the only of the domestic title holders to be at the top of their league. Yes, you could probably say that Bayern Munich had a bit of a blip. When you look at it, they just lost 1 game in the last few months. That just goes to show that domestically, they're in some fantastic form. And if people are calling it a blip, it just shows you the standards that Bayern Munich are held to, where if they don't win 1 game in the league, suddenly things are looking wrong. Maybe there's questions over the future market Hansi Flick. Of course, that may just be a few media outlets maybe jumping the gun a little bit, but it just goes to show you that Bayern Munich being in insane form, winning every game, is pretty much just become the norm. Obviously, it has domestically because they've been winning absolutely everything for the last few years, but also in Europe as well. The other thing is that with their form, they do have one thing that's not going to slow them down. I say slow them down, it's probably just another opportunity to win a game on confidence, but they did crash out of the DFB Pokal. Obviously, that's a disappointing defence of their German Cup, but having said that, this may mean they've got a little bit extra time to not only recover, but to prepare for some important games towards the end of the season. And having said that, it brings me on to my final and what I believe one of the strongest points as to why Bayern have such a good chance of retaining their Champions League title. So the last reason is that, well, most of the other favourites are kind of struggling. One of the other big ones that we think could be in with a chance of winning is Manchester City, and Angelina actually made a video which you can find here by stating why she thinks they will be taking home the Champions League title. But when it comes to the other leagues, rivals are either struggling or they're in a title race. Now, at the moment, Bayern Munich are a fair few points clear of RB Leipzig, and it looks as though they are going to run away with the Bundesliga yet again. As for some of the other favourites, let's have a look at how they're doing. Barcelona and Real Madrid, always mentioned when it comes to the Champions League, but really quite a way behind Atletico Madrid in the table. As for Liverpool, it looks like their title challenge is over, and Manchester City are making quite good headway. When it comes to Juventus, they look far off the pace, and PSG are in a struggle with Lille at the top of Liga. Now, what all this means is that basically these teams in the league are going to have far more important upcoming games over the next few months. Can you imagine when you go deep into the competition, like the Champions League, right? You're in the semi-final, and within a week or within 2 weeks, you've got an important fixture at the top of the league, a cup game, a Champions League game, another important fixture, the second leg of the Champions League semi-final. There are so many matches that it's going to get difficult, especially, I'm actually pointing this out, for squads like Manchester City. If you look at how many games we've got left to play, right? At the next round of Bundesliga fixtures, obviously, you'll finish the league season. If Bayern Munich with the Bundesliga make it all the way to the Champions League final, they have 20 games to play. If Juventus, who have still got the Coppa Italia final to play, and the rest of Serie A and make it to the Champions League final, that's 25 games. Manchester City have got, if you add the Premier League, final of the Carabao Cup, they're still in the FA Cup and make it to the Champions League final. That's 25 games. And if you add on Barcelona, I believe they've got the second leg of the Copa del Rey, the rest of La Liga, and make it to the Champions League final again. That's 25 games. As we get towards the end of the season, when it comes to important matches, potentially COVID could still be having an impact, ruling players out for, even if it's 2 weeks, which isn't a huge amount of time. There could be so many games crammed into such a short period of time. It's going to be difficult for recovery, for players to get over injuries, for players to pick up form. This is where I think Bayern playing 5 games less will really have a good time of it, especially if they're running towards the end of the season and they've already won the Bundesliga. They're already comfortably clear. They can maybe play a few second string players and rest of the players for the big matches. All of this is going massively in their favour. Of course, at this point, it is fair to point out that the Bundesliga only has 18 teams, so naturally they only play 4 games less than the other top 5 leagues. So there you have it, 5 reasons why I think Bayern can retain their Champions League title. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comments, who you think is going to win. Check out everything else we've got going on in OneFootball, and until next time, I will see you guys later.